and welcome to Enfield Today. I'm your host, Kevin Kibbe. Enfield Today is a new show that is being produced by folks from the community who decided to get together to help make a difference. We will be spotlighting important topics, and we are also doing this just to have some fun. Each show will probably be a little bit different than the one before it, as we will be ranging in topics from bringing attention to the substance abuse issues in town to highlighting local businesses and everything in between. The show is ultimately all about you. We also have a Facebook page up and running where everyone can interact and bring their own ideas and suggestions for the show. We look forward to seeing what those suggestions are, and who knows, maybe you will be a guest. I'd like to introduce at this time the founder of this whole thing. Who made this all happen? It started with a Facebook post that I saw and I said, oh my God, I want to get on this. John Fox. John,
hello.
What prompted you to start the group?
I was on TV a few times last year, and it looked like a lot of fun. And whenever I travel, I go to a small town somewhere, I'll watch the public television and get an idea for what the town is like. And so it just seemed between your page with the 9,000 whatever members, and then I have the positive change, and there's a couple thousand there. It's like people want to talk, and I was hoping that this show would be an extension of the conversations we're already having on Facebook and get the town more interactive. And ultimately, I'd like to see more people volunteer for this kind of thing, develop their own show ideas. I just think it's going to be something new for Enfield to have as a viewing option.
It's incredible to me how easy and hard at the same time this is. It was easy because, like you said, you called Cox, and these guys are awesome. They were ready to go. They just said, come on in, and all you need is 10 people. And then how hard it is, because this is a legit studio we're in. This is, everything is, top notch, and running the cameras to, everything in between, and it's a lot of fun. Just, what would you like to see this group do long term? Do you have any long term? I know the short term is to do the shows and bring attention, but I don't know. Long term, what could you see it happening?
Well, I just I'd like to see it like any regular talk show, where if something happens in town or in the state, and we have people here and we can interact with Facebook or whatever live time, or have what you have on your phone, or the what's that called?
Yeah, that's a lot of on Facebook. You can go live.
Go live on phone. I mean, just make it as live as possible, and we've done the hard work. We have the volunteers, and so it should just perpetuate itself. At some point, who knows? We'll have somebody else come in and produce a show or take over. And this thing, hopefully, it'll run itself, and we'll have enough people interested in getting involved. So.
And that's the thing too, because everybody here is multitasking. I'm not going to be the only host. If somebody has an idea and they say, you know what, I got this idea, I'd like to host a show on, I don't know, whatever it may be, they can do it. I'll run a camera. Somebody, will do a flip-flop. And I'd like to take a moment, since this is our first show, I'd like to take a moment to introduce, or name rather, everybody who's behind the scenes, because they're doing a lot of work here, guys. This is not easy, and I appreciate every one of them. Of course, John Fox, myself, the host, Kevin Kibbe, Audrey Kibbe, who's going to be a guest here in a moment, Sharon Musey, who's also going to be a guest in a moment. We have Lynn Kostick, Sean Droney, Eileen McDonald, Annalise Peterson, Mary Beth Norton, Len Mason, Chris Mathiasen in the back there, and Liz Davis and Joshua Armray. And everybody together, we're just having a good time.
Yeah, Can I just say also, if you're interested in doing this, you should get in touch with us, because we're going to do a show probably once or twice a month. It takes about a half an hour to tape, and it didn't take too long for everybody to learn their spots, and setting up. I think setting up the studio was the hardest part. Yeah. We wanted to make it look very unique from all the other shows you see on public television. So I think we've achieved that,
and I think we will, because, like I said in the beginning, so many different topics, and I'm going to introduce Sophia a little later on in the show, because one of the first things we're going to be doing is a substance abuse issue, which is, you and I were at that dinner the other night, and that's what they talked about. It's so prevalent.
The other Kevin and I went to the Society for the Detection of Robbers and Thieves, or Horse Thieves, or something. It's a 200-year-old organization, and so we were at St. Bernard's Church. And it was great, just for the tradition. But then the town manager was there, and he started talking about the heroin addiction problem. And he had about a 10-minute talk that it hit me at that point that even though we were there for a fun time, there's a very serious problem in town. And So of course we have this vehicle. We're going to use it to help people maybe think about some ideas about support networks or removing the stigma of heroin addiction, because that to me is the hardest part, is for people to recognize that this is an issue that everybody's grappling with, and we can feel better about ourselves by helping out in any way we can, for those the families of the victims of the heroin users and everything else, and just try to do some good there.
Because there's ideas for the fall, the farmers market in the summer. There's Christmas time, or Thanksgiving, Halloween. Just so many different things, and I'm looking forward to the Facebook page. If you want to go to Facebook, it's just a group called Enfield Today. You can find it easily enough on there. I shared it into the forum, I believe. If not, you share it into your group.
Yeah.
And then just click join and join in, because I'm looking forward to the ideas that the folks at home have, because they're going to have some good ideas that we're not even thinking of. We're going to
sure.
oh my gosh, yeah, what a great topic. And if they're willing, maybe they'll be sitting where you are.
Yeah.
So at this time, I'm going to introduce a second guest, the prettiest one, because she's my daughter, Audrey Kibbe. And now I put you, embarrass you before we start. But for real though, all kidding aside, what prompted you? You're 20 years old. What prompted you to start the group? I mean, to join the group. Sorry, John.
I figured, being a younger person, not a whole lot of younger people would be interested in something like this, but I figured, someone being in their 20s like me, I could maybe help speak for some of the younger residents of Enfield. I could bring up some other topics that some other people might not be thinking about, and maybe if they see someone younger on here, they'll think, oh, well, if it's fun for someone like that, maybe I should get along and join in. And, I figured maybe just I could be an eye-opener for other points of views that a lot of people don't think about.
And then, question for you, just kind of like what I asked John, what would you like to see maybe long-term happen as far as the younger folks go? I mean...
Well, there's a lot of different things that I'm really excited for the show to do, all these different solutions we can have. And me, myself, I feel like, like I said, being a younger person on the show, I could maybe help out and get some other, younger guests to maybe come on the show, get some people to talk about other topics that are really important, like I said before, like the car meets and everything, things like that. People don't think about, but, there's a lot of things we can actually really discuss and talk about, and I just feel like being a younger person, I could really...
And really briefly, go over, talk about the car meet, because that's something that sticks out in my mind, where you have a whole bunch of kids, pretty much kids, and I've seen them outside of the Taco Bell, outside of that, where Sleepy's is and PetSmart. A lot of cars. And when I first saw them, my first thought was, and it's probably wrong, and it's too bad, but my first thought was, oh boy, what's going on over here? Come to find out, they're good kids.
Oh yeah.
You're in touch with the head guy, right?
Yeah, the guy that came up with all of it, Alex Gold. I had actually sent him a Facebook message, and he's interested in coming on the show at some point. I have talked to him about it. I grew up with him through school, and him and his friends just decided that they'd like to meet up with each other, a couple friends, meeting up, talking about their cars, things like that. And it turned into this huge thing that they didn't intend, but it's not a bad thing either. They have a lot of people coming in, discussing different things with their cars, showing off everything they've worked on. They've put a lot of hard sweat and money into that to, improve their vehicles and everything. And some people have had a lot of problems with it, thinking that they are, getting into trouble, doing burnouts, drinking, smoking, whatever. And that's definitely not the case. They're down there, they're meeting up, they're hanging out. They've even posted about it on Facebook, on different groups and stuff, saying how anyone's welcome, any age, from a child to an elder. They have old cars, they have new cars, and they try to welcome everybody so they can come and see that it's not a bad thing. It's actually really cool.
So what would you say, or I don't even know if you know the answer to this, what would happen if, because there's always that guy, and no matter what you do, there's that guy. What happens if that guy has had a little bit too much to drink, or is causing chaos, or doing those burnout, or things like that you just spoke of? Do they handle that in a specific way?
I'm not sure, but I believe that they do. I think that if someone were to be taking it too far and being too reckless and everything, I'm 99% sure they'd make them leave. And if they wouldn't leave, get the police involved if need be. But they try to keep it as respectful as possible to the surrounding towns or the surrounding stores and everything. They try to keep it, quiet, not quiet and silent, but not to bother other people. And I'm sure that also helps with the other stores around there getting business, like Taco Bell and McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sure that a lot of them get a lot of people coming in to get a coffee or to get a bite to eat.
I would think the same thing. But what was surprising to me was I think it was on the forum where there was a post about the car meets and how Taco Bell didn't want them there. I don't know, but that'd be something at some point we
and
could
that's
talk
why I would
to.
like Alex Gould to come on the show and
Yeah.
he could answer those questions more. He
Yeah.
could really get into it.
Sharon.
Hi.
Sharon Musey.
That's me.
Welcome to the group.
Hello.
The same question though. What prompted you to join?
Well, I saw a post that John put up. I was on Facebook, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was on the Enfield forum page, and he said he wanted to get this group together and was looking for people to join. And I was like, "Yep, I
Yep.
am very interested. I think it's really important that we get together and talk about topics that interest everybody. I mean, it's fun to talk on Facebook, but you never get people interacting with each other anymore."
Correct. And to your point, the hardest thing about Facebook is John posts something, I respond. In my mind, I'm thinking, da-da-dee. He's reading it as dum dum dum.
Exactly.
and
Exactly,
there's no tone inflection.
Yes.
And this is something where John has a beautiful idea because we could talk about these things and have people that disagree on a topic talk for 30 minutes.
Right.
But when you're speaking in person, you're always more cordial, and you're also getting their point because what you may be perceiving they're saying is not what they're not what they're saying at all.
Exactly. You could be reading it totally different than the way the person is writing it. In their mind it's this way, and in your mind it's like, well,
I'll
so
show
when you talk to somebody, it's easier to tell what they actually mean and what they're saying.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And I think you just get a lot further in person, than you can on
Right.
Facebook. But the same again, long term, like what changes would you like to see? Not necessarily changes. What would you like to see happen as a result of the group? Maybe long term, like what could we do in your mind?
I would just love to see this turn into a long-term, like John was saying, like a talk show, or where we could just get different people to talk about anything at all that interests them. I mean, we could talk about, texting and driving or drinking and driving,
Oh my
like the
gosh,
safety
that's a good
behind the
one.
wheel.
Yeah.
Health
See?
and fitness. Everybody's so into health and fitness now. We could talk about that. We could have maybe a nutritionist come on and, maybe somebody from the local gyms talk about their programs that they have
even
coming
think
on
of that.
I didn't
Zumba,
even think of that. See,
yoga.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't
Right.
think of that. Especially the texting. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's huge. And wow. See?
What about you, Kevin? What about you? What are your
Hey,
long
I'm
term?
those.
What are your long term goals for the show?
I just love when you brought up the idea. Like I said, when I saw it on Facebook, I'm like, wow, what a brilliant thing. And I said I want to be a part of this because I love this town and I love everybody in it. That's why I started the forum. Just something different, just something new, and I like to make a difference. I've taught my children to do things, which I want to address here in a second. I talk to my girls about making a difference in whatever way they choose to make a difference. And this is something that I can see going forward, like what we're just talking about, the 3 or 4 of us, so many different topics already. And when we're going to get home, and we got a lot of people on the Facebook page now, they're going to be seeing it, and they're going to be like, yeah, well, I want to do this, and I like to hear about this. And it might turn into something huge where we're here once a week because there's so many, people wanting to do and wanting to get involved, and just bring some, I don't know, attention to the issues like what we were saying, but do it in a personal,
Right.
I'm talking to you, setting instead of I'll show you, you son of a gun, on your phone. And
I was even thinking about maybe pet adoption. I know so
There
many
you go.
people that
There's
are
another one.
are into pet rescuing right now. We could have maybe not a whole show about that, but maybe we could once in a while bring a pet in that needs to be
Sure.
adopted or
That's big.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Well, can I just say one thing? Kevin has turned out to be perfect for this role. You know, and when I look at him on Facebook, and I thought, you know, we have different views on stuff like you were saying, but then you get behind this desk, and he's a natural. So it's just like so good for the show. Because I'll be honest, I threw it out there. I said, you know, camera operators. I was thinking Wayne's World. You know,
Wayne's
like,
World,
let's just do Wayne's World. Who's going to be Wayne? Who's going to be Garth?
Right.
But this is Wayne and Garth all in one. I mean, he's just naturally entertaining, and I hope we can someday. Like, he does all these great voices and stuff, and Casey Kasem and everything. So I'm really looking forward to watching Kevin on the show for the next 10 years. We'll probably have a good 10-year run out of this.
This
This
could
is
be-
definitely going to be the best show on TV.
It is, and you know, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to have different guests. We're going to keep people guessing every week. Some weeks, like what I'm going to be talking with Sophia about in a few minutes, are going to be deadly serious topics. And other ones, like the pet adoption, that's really important. And then we're going to have some really fun stuff too, though. Everything in between. There's just not going to be, you know, one thing to go over or whatever. You were talking, though, Audrey, and I want to ask you about the younger thing. You made me think of something that Olivia's done, and John and I have spoke about this over the past, destigmatizing T-ville, if you will. I know Olivia's gone in the groups like what they did this past weekend, did that huge Enfield cleanup, which is cool.
Yeah, I saw everybody
And then
walking.
Olivia's done some things where she just walks around the neighborhood. I've seen her come in the house, she'll grab a bag, say I'll be back, and she'll come home with a bag of garbage. But John and I were talking about other things like the parking and stuff like that to bring folks into T-ville. I don't know what your thoughts of the farmers market are, but when they have it set up on Main Street there, and then you got the water right behind it, it looks sharp. It looks,
the
you
live
know,
music.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it looked the grass is green, the benches are clean, the water's good. I mean, it's a nice picture. And I've lived there now for a couple of years, and you know, of course, you see what you see, but I've learned that if you take care of this is my place, okay? And if I take care of my place, then it's a snowball effect because the neighbor says, well, geez, you know, I want to take care of my place too. And suddenly, you know, it's not the whole street, but suddenly you have 4 or 5 houses that look pretty good and people take care of their spot as best as they can. It's all about pride, you know, and fixing, you know, what do you think about T-ville?
It's exciting right now because we could have the transit center coming in.
Absolutely.
And then investment in small business. Hopefully, the zoning board will rezone much of T-ville so we can have people fixing up their properties, take care of all the delinquent landowners. There's a lot of traction right now, and it's been there for a while to improve T-ville, and I think the town council is definitely behind it. Now with the social media and the public input, you know, it's going to be something that's going to be fun to watch. You know,
there's so much good, and like the transit station, I love that idea, and you know, so much can be brought over, and just to make it a little bit better place. What do you think, Sharon?
I think that it's an excellent idea, and I noticed that there's just a lot of people who have lived in T-ville forever, and I mean, there are a lot of people who do take care of their properties. It's a lot of the old timers that have been there forever.
Exactly.
It's their home.
It is.
And they want to see it revitalized. You know?
And the ones who don't, you know, you get that, and then you get tenants that, you know, give a rip. But a lot of times, I don't want to say people don't give a rip, but the problem is there's a lot of old houses that need a lot of work.
Right.
And the people who own the houses don't live in the houses. So it's hard to make your house look good when, you know, there's so much wrong.
Yeah, I was a landlord years ago, not in this town, but a different town.
Were you?
And it's just some people, and not everybody, but I'm just saying some people, like if it's not yours, you don't take care of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they're like, whatever. But
Well, you know, because you got Coronas down there, you've got.
Oh, yeah, there's
and
businesses
what
that
are
have been
somebody
there
said
forever.
something. Was it you who said something before? They want to turn the firehouse into a.
a brewery.
I think
it?
a bar. Didn't a bar owner buy that? I thought.
I don't know who bought it
Oh,
for
geez,
$100,000. Somebody
yeah.
in Springfield.
I wish I could remember where I read it. I thought I heard it. Some kind of tavern. You know,
Yeah.
or not necessarily like a small restaurant or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. That's awesome. Because we need to bring people in, because we need to
That'd
have
be cool.
people know it's safe. You know, I've lived there 2
Right.
years. I've got 4 daughters. They're okay. And they need to know it's safe down there, because typical Facebook post, all right? Something happens and, you know, bada bada boom. Of course, it's T-ville. You'll always see that. And that's the perception.
Those things
you know.
get me mad.
But what's neat is when you see that, right, they get you mad, because when you see that, people jump in. What were you thinking, you know, as we're speaking here?
Well, I mean, a lot of people sure seem to have time to complain on Facebook about it. They always find the little part of their time to complain about how this is a mess and that's a mess, but a lot of people don't do anything about it. If everybody took 10 minutes out of their day to take a walk 10 feet down the street just to pick up a few things, it would help a lot. You know, if people were to actually like help clean up, I would see a major difference. And yes, I'm at fault. I don't do as much as I would like to do. But like you said, my older sister Olivia, she'll go out for hours with a trash bag just to pick up for no reason, just to help the town. And you know, I would love to see a little bit of change, because you know, I take my 1-year-old on a walk, and you know, I see trash along the way. I see things, you know, we need to work on more.
Yeah,
But if we
and-
can, get better.
So many ideas, so many ideas, so many things coming on.
So do we have a
And-
commercial coming up?
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, guys.
Our first commercial. Everyone, enjoy. Is it
And
wrong
honors
button?
our newest generation of warriors and veterans.
Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs.
The unemployment rate among veterans is unacceptably high.
They are a proven commodity, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country.
Hire them. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense.
They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom and to receive the best treatment and care we can provide.
Let's not forget our wounded warriors and their families as they return home. We cannot allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves.
They deserve more.
And let's honor the families who sacrifice so much every day.
As the service member serves,
So does the family.
please join with the American Legion to find out how you can truly honor America's newest generation of veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Welcome back, Enfield Today. I made a big boo-boo, and reading off all the people that are doing this, I forgot one of the... Shannon Grant. Shannon, I apologize. She's our producer. And
No,
you know,
no, director.
Director. See,
She's
I
doing a
can't even
great
get that
job.
right. And she's running behind the scenes. Shannon, thank you. But seriously, everybody on this list, all you guys, thank you so much, because you're making my job easy. I got it easy. I can just sit here and yap. At this time, now, we're going to make things a little serious, okay? And I've got Sophia Ariel, right?
Arel.
I came close. Now, Sophia, you are the founder of CAP,
Yes.
CAAP here in town. What is CAP?
We are an organization basically to lift the stigma for drug and alcohol addiction and to raise awareness that recovery is possible. Most of our members are recovering addicts or alcoholics, or have family members who are.
Correct.
So,
And there's someday, kiddo, we're going to get rid of that stigma, because it's bad and it's everywhere. But slowly, layer by layer, I think it's coming down, because we're seeing it affecting people where it's not supposed to. Oh, that family. Oh my gosh, it's always this kind of people, and it's not this kind of people
No,
anymore.
not
it's
at all.
all kinds of people. What motivated you though? What motivated you to start CAP?
I've been in recovery. Actually, I just celebrated 4 years.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
Thank you. Last April, I had a friend pass away from an overdose, and it was fentanyl, heroin. And there was another young woman, probably about a month later, who passed away. She was like 18 or 19, I believe, in town. And I just was like, I have young girls. One of them is going to be 12. She's in JFK. And that's when it all started for me. So I just wanted to get out there and spread the word.
And I'm proud of you, because you are not afraid to say you're in recovery.
No.
And good for you for it. Because we were talking about this in a practice show a couple weeks back. I could talk about things all day and night, okay, about whatever. and say a story that people might say, wow, that's kind of sad, you know. But when you do it, it's different because people, the younger, my daughter's ages, you know, and her friends, say if there's an issue there, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, oh my goodness, somebody my age, you know,
Yeah.
I know her, you know, I went to school with her, or I know him, I work with him. I didn't know that about them. And they might seek you guys out.
They have. You'd
Have
be
they already?
surprised how many people have reached out.
Good for you.
It's pretty intense.
Is
It's
it a lot?
awesome. Yeah.
And you guys got to be ready because when people reach out, they're hurting.
Yes.
You know, some of them might be reaching out for family, but even they're hurting.
Right.
But you're going to be, if you haven't already, you're going to be helping people when they're at the worst, and you know what it's
Yeah,
like, you know.
I
It's
do.
not fun.
Yeah.
And you're going to be helping people from that moment and help, you know, do whatever you can. What do you guys do, though? Like,
I don't know, really. We do a lot. I guess like we're going to be in the Memorial Day Parade,
okay.
and we are doing a walk in T-ville. We're going to start at the town hall and then walk all through Pleasant Street, Pearl Street, and just spread awareness because I grew up in T-ville too, and there is a stigma on that area, and it's you know, it's just too bad. So, you know, we're just trying to get out there and just let everyone know that recovery is possible, and it doesn't matter what age, race, gender. So,
You know, can I just say,
Absolutely.
when I started the Positive Change Board, it's groups like this that most people have never heard of, or
Correct.
you know, it's just not mainstream. That
Correct.
I was really hoping to shed some more light on. And there's so many groups in Enfield that are doing great work, and I'm really impressed. You know,
Thank you.
because it's just you know, just a great start over or whatever. You know, a reset for someone, and life's beautiful, and you know, if you can just turn that corner and get going again. And we have it right here in town. We're really blessed,
Yeah.
you know, to have your group and then so many
you.
other great groups in this town.
We have a
So-
lot, and you're right, and there's a lot to address. And I was like so impressed when I first saw it, and I like because I remember you. I don't want to
Yeah.
say too much, but I remember.
Yeah.
And it was rough.
yeah,
And you know, I'm proud of you. But
thank you.
what you've done though is incredible. You know, you know, I started a Facebook group, Yippee-ki-yay. You're starting something that might save somebody. You know, there's a big difference there, Sophia.
That's we've said it before, as long as we can help one person, we've accomplished, you know, our goal. We just want to help people.
And you've done it well.
Thank
you.
you.
Know,
So
I'm
the next show will be
correct.
focused
Our
on
next show, you're right. And our next show is going to be completely focused on Sophia and the cat. And we're going to be going into some detail on
Yep.
some of the things that these guys struggle with and what's going on and how we can help, you know, because it's just, it's bad. And it's
Yes,
everywhere. And
it is.
like you said, it's not just, you know, the young kids, but it's everybody.
Looks like we're getting the signal here to start
Wrap
wrapping
it
it up.
up.
Is that what that means? So,
Got one more
we're
minute.
new.
I'm
We're all
watching the
new.
clock.
I mean,
We got one more minute.
yeah, we got
But-
a minute here.
It's hard to get Kevin to.
Kevin's doing a great
when
job,
he starts
right?
going.
Well, I'm
He's doing
watching
an
the clock. There's a
excellent
clock
job.
that you guys can't see over here, and it's telling me that I've got
got
1 minute and 8 seconds. So, and to wrap it up, though, I want to thank my guests. I want to thank John. I want to thank Audrey. I want to thank Shannon. I want to thank Sophia. Again, everybody that's running the cameras and doing all that stuff behind the scenes. You guys are incredible. I look forward to this. I am excited as can be at this, and I thank you guys so much for the opportunity to do this. And I hope we have some fun and just learn a lot of stuff. And you know what? Let's knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on Enfield Today. Take care.